Hi everyone, my name is Kiphany Hof and I'm a licensed mental health practitioner and the Associate Director of the Counseling Center at UNK. Just here today to offer one of our weekly tips on coping with COVID. Today our tip is going to be on self-compassion. So I want you to think, just take a moment right now, and even if you have to pause the video, just take a brief moment and bring to mind the three most important people in your life. Who are they? Okay, now that you have those people in mind, hopefully, I want you to stop and notice, was one of those people that you brought to mind you? Are you one of the most important people in your life? Most of us don't consider ourselves one of the most important. Very rarely does anybody raise their hand when we do this activity in person, although some people do. There's lots of reasons why. Maybe it's because there's a sense of feeling selfish if we think we're one of the most important people in our life. Maybe we're practicing some humility. Maybe we've never really thought about it that way before. And that sort of ties in today with this skill of self-compassion. I want to show you on the screen a really great website that has lots of exercises on practicing self-compassion. And here's the reason why it's important and why it's my tip for everyone this week on coping with COVID. Right now is a time where you might be highly self-critical, even more so than normal. Most of us are critical of ourselves in some way. We have that inner critic that's telling us we're not good enough in some way, or we're not smart enough, we're not a good friend, we're not a great student, maybe we're not a good partner or parent. So we have those self-criticisms. And during coronavirus time, when we don't have our normal routine and we're not connected with other people as much, that self-criticism might be a very loud voice that's going on inside of us. That's usually not productive. Most of us believe that self-criticism will help motivate us or make us feel badly enough that we'll do better. A lot of times it just ends up producing shame and guilt that keeps us from moving forward towards our goals. So this is why it's important to find that balance between some self-criticism that's healthy and motivational and inspires us, and then practicing self-compassion when we notice that our criticism is only bringing us down further. So the exercise today is called How Would You Treat a Friend? And I'm going to walk through it with you. So first of all, think about times when a close friend of yours feels really bad about themselves or they're struggling in some way. So maybe if we make it more specific to coronavirus, your friend is talking about their struggles of not being able to go to work or not have a job. Maybe they do have a job and they're struggling to do it from home. Maybe they're having a tough time being a parent and trying to homeschool their child. Maybe they're a college student who feels like they've lost some of their identity now that they're not able to be on campus. There's a whole host of things that a close friend might be experiencing during this time. The next step then is thinking about, how would you respond to your friend in this situation, especially when you're at your best? So maybe take some time to write that down. What would you typically do? What would you say? How might you say it when you talk to your friend who's feeling really badly about themselves? Step number 2, now think about times when you feel bad about yourself or are struggling in some way. How do you typically respond to yourself in this situation? What do you typically do, say, and how do you talk to yourself? Step number 3, did you notice a difference? Probably all of us notice the difference. The difference, I'm going to guess, is that you're probably much kinder when talking to your friend or responding to your friend than you are to yourself. Ask yourself why. What factors or fears come into play that lead you to treat yourself and others so differently? Again, is it this misperception that you have to be kind of mean to yourself in order to do better? Does it feel selfish? Do you feel like you don't deserve the same type of compassion that you might offer someone else? And there might be a lot of different reasons. I think it's important, though, for us to really take the time to say, how come I don't treat myself as kindly as I would treat somebody else? And then the last step, number 4, is write down or think about how you think things might change if you responded to yourself in the same way that you respond to a close friend who is suffering. How might things be different for you? If you were just a little kinder to yourself in these moments when you might be struggling, would you allow yourself to just do anything and everything and behave badly? Would you lose motivation? Self-compassion research tells us it's just the opposite. When we can find that balance of noticing when we're struggling, being mindful of those times, realizing that you're not alone in your struggle, every human suffers, and then how can you treat yourself with some kindness in that moment, which is treating yourself like you treat a friend. So I'd encourage you to practice that throughout the week, especially when you notice that self-criticism is very high, and you'll notice a shift in your compassion towards yourself and in your compassion towards others. I hope you all are well.